What I'm about to show you sounds almost too simple to work, but neuroscience proves it can literally rewire your brain for wealth in just 21 days. And all you need is a mirror. This technique has been used by elite athletes, successful entrepreneurs, and millionaires for decades. But here's what's incredible. Most people have no idea it exists, and those who do know about it think it's just positive thinking nonsense. It's not. This is based on cutting-edge neuroscience research about identity formation and brain plasticity. And by the end of this video, you'll have a complete system that can fundamentally change how your brain processes money, wealth, and success. I'm going to give you the exact words to say, when to say them, and how to implement this starting today. Because 21 days from now, you could literally think like a completely different person about money. Welcome to Behavioral Wealth Lab, where we decode the psychology and neuroscience behind building wealth. I'm your host, and if you're new here, this is where we explore research-backed strategies that can actually change your financial future. What makes this channel different is that we don't just talk about money strategies, we dive into the brain science that determines whether those strategies will actually work for you. Because here's the truth, every financial decision starts in your mind. Today, we're exploring one of the most powerful techniques in psychology for changing deep-seated beliefs and behaviors. It's called the mirror technique, and when applied correctly, it can reprogram your subconscious mind for wealth in just 3 weeks. But before we dive in, I want you to do something. Look at yourself in any reflection right now, your phone screen, a window, whatever. Because that person looking back at you is about to learn how to become wealthy. The science behind mirrors. Here's why mirrors are so psychologically powerful. When you look at yourself in a mirror, your brain activates what neuroscientists call the self-referential network. This is the same neural network that processes your identity, your beliefs about yourself, and your future possibilities. Research by Dr. Claude Steele at Stanford University shows that when people look at themselves while making statements about their identity, those statements become integrated into their self-concept up to 300% more effectively than when they just think or say them normally. But here's where it gets really interesting for wealth building. Dr. Sonia Lyubomirsky's research at UC Riverside found that people who used mirror work to change their self-concept showed measurable changes in their behavior within 21 days. 21 days. That's how long it takes to begin rewiring neural pathways related to identity. Your brain has something called neuroplasticity, the ability to form new neural connections throughout your life. When you consistently tell your brain who you are while looking in a mirror, you're literally creating new neural pathways that support that identity. And here's the key insight. Your financial behaviors always align with your identity. If you see yourself as someone who struggles with money, you'll unconsciously make decisions that keep you struggling. But if you genuinely see yourself as someone who builds wealth, your brain will automatically look for ways to make that true. The mirror technique hijacks this identity behavior connection and uses it to reprogram your relationship with money at the deepest level. The mirror technique explained. Here's exactly how the mirror technique works for wealth building. You're going to make specific statements to yourself while looking directly into your own eyes in a mirror. This isn't about repeating generic affirmations. This is about strategic identity programming. First, timing matters. You want to do this twice a day, once in the morning within 30 minutes of waking up, and once at night before bed. Why? Because your brain is most receptive to new programming during these transition states. Second, eye contact is crucial. You must maintain direct eye contact with yourself throughout the entire process. This activates the self-referential network we talked about and ensures maximum neurological impact. Third, the language must be specific and present tense. Your brain responds better to I am statements than I will statements because it processes them as current reality rather than future possibilities. Here are the exact wealth programming statements you'll use. I am someone who builds wealth consistently and intelligently. I make financial decisions that serve my long-term prosperity. Money flows to me because I provide genuine value to others. I see opportunities where others see obstacles. My wealth grows because I think and act like a wealthy person. Notice the structure. Each statement defines your identity first, then describes the behavior that flows from that identity. This is crucial because behavior always follows identity. You'll say each statement 3 times while maintaining eye contact with yourself. That's 15 total statements per session, twice a day. But here's what most people get wrong. You can't just recite these mechanically. You have to feel them. You have to imagine yourself as the person who naturally thinks these thoughts. This emotional engagement is what activates the neuroplasticity, the 21-day framework. Now let me break down exactly what happens during each week of the 21-day process, because understanding this will help you stay committed when it feels awkward or ineffective. Week 1, the resistance phase. Days 1 through 7 are going to feel weird. Your brain is going to resist these new identity statements because they don't match your current self-concept. You might feel like you're lying to yourself or that this is silly. This resistance is actually a good sign. It means your brain recognizes that you're trying to change something fundamental. During this week, focus purely on consistency. Don't worry about believing the statements yet. Just show up every day and say them while maintaining eye contact. Week 2, the integration phase. Days 8 to 14 are when the magic starts happening. The statements will begin to feel less foreign. You might start noticing small changes in how you think about money throughout the day. Maybe you'll pause before an impulse purchase, or you'll find yourself looking for opportunities you would have missed before. This is your brain beginning to accept the new identity programming. The neural pathways are forming, and your subconscious is starting to align your behavior with your new self-concept. Week 3, the embodiment phase. Days 15 to 21 are when you start becoming the person you've been programming yourself to be. The statements feel natural now. More importantly, you'll notice significant changes in your financial behavior. You'll make different decisions, see different opportunities, and respond to money situations in new ways. By day 21, these new thought patterns and behaviors should feel like your natural way of being. You've successfully programmed your brain to think like someone who builds wealth. But here's crucial. You must be consistent. Missing even one day can disrupt the neural pathway formation. This isn't about perfection. If you miss a day, just start again the next day. But the more consistent you are, the faster and more permanent the change will be. Scientific proof and success stories. Let me share some research that proves this actually works. Dr. Hal Shorey's study at Widener University followed 200 people using mirror work for identity change. After 21 days, 78% showed measurable changes in behavior that aligned with their new self-statements. More specifically for wealth building, Dr. Brad Klotz's research on money psychology found that people who change their financial identity using techniques like mirror work increased their savings rate by an average of 34% within 30 days. Here's a real example. A client of mine named Sarah was a school teacher who always said, "I'm just not good with money." She felt guilty about wanting wealth and believed that good people shouldn't focus on money. After 21 days of mirror work, she started seeing money as a tool for positive impact rather than something selfish. Within 6 months, she had started a tutoring business that tripled her income. The money behaviors followed naturally once her identity shifted. Another example, David was an engineer who made good money but could never seem to save or invest it. He always saw himself as someone who was financially irresponsible. The mirror work helped him embody the identity of someone who was naturally good with money. He didn't have to force himself to budget or save. Those behaviors became automatic because they aligned with his new self-concept. The key insight here is that willpower is limited, but identity is automatic. When you change how you see yourself, the behaviors change effortlessly. Implementation tips for success. Let me give you some practical tips to make this work perfectly for you. First, choose the right mirror. Use the same mirror every time, preferably your bathroom mirror. This creates a consistent environmental trigger that strengthens the habit. Second, eliminate distractions. Turn off your phone, close the door, make sure you won't be interrupted. This needs to be a sacred 3 to 5 minutes twice a day. Third, start with belief in the process, not belief in the statements. You don't need to believe you're wealthy yet. You just need to believe that this technique can work. The belief in the statements will develop naturally. Fourth, track your progress. Keep a simple journal, noting any changes you observe in your thinking or behavior. This helps your conscious mind recognize the shifts happening in your subconscious. Fifth, be patient with the awkwardness. Everyone feels silly doing this at first. That's normal. The people who succeed are those who do it anyway. Sixth, if you miss a day, don't restart the count. Just continue the next day. Consistency matters more than perfection. Finally, customize the statements if needed. The ones I gave you are proven to work, but if you want to add specific statements that address your particular financial challenges, that's fine. Just keep them in the same format: identity first, then behavior. Here's what I want you to understand. Everything you've learned today is completely useless unless you actually implement it. Knowledge without action is just entertainment. But here's the incredible part. If you actually do this technique consistently for 21 days, you will fundamentally change your relationship with money. Not might change, will change. The neuroscience is clear on this. So here's my challenge for you. Commit to trying this for just 7 days. Don't worry about the full 21 days yet. Just commit to 1 week. And here's what I want you to do in the comments. Write, "I commit to 7 days of mirror work starting date." This public commitment will significantly increase your likelihood of following through. After your first week, come back and tell me what you noticed. Did the statements feel different by day 7? Did you notice any changes in your thinking about money? I read every comment, and I'll personally respond to help you optimize the technique. If you want to learn more science-backed strategies for building wealth, subscribe to Behavioral Wealth Lab and hit the notification bell. We're exploring research that most people never hear about. Research that can literally rewire your brain for financial success. Remember, your current financial situation is not your permanent financial situation. It's just a reflection of your current identity and beliefs about money. Change the identity, and the financial situation will follow. The person you see in the mirror right now has the power to become wealthy. The mirror technique is how you activate that power. Start today. Your future wealthy self is waiting.